Loonies, Ben the Looney here. For you guys who have been with me since the beginning, you know that I got my start doing reviews of cartoons, mostly ones that were coming out new at the time. What I intended to be a hobby gave me cult status online and got my name out there. It's been a little over 8 years since I started my YouTube videos, and as you can tell, I've come quite a long way. I retired Ben T. Looney last year because I felt myself starting to run out of steam. It's true, I used to be very energetic and would tear apart any cartoon I didn't like. However, over the years, I've gathered a following of critics who really couldn't stand my eccentric personality or my harsh review style. I brushed off their words as I was just having fun and making vids to entertain my followers. But now that I'm older, I definitely know what it feels like to be on the other side of that spectrum. There are people in the animation community who definitely take the art form way too seriously. I think it's time I gave my own opinion on the issue. I've said plenty of times before that there's nothing wrong with being an adult and enjoying cartoons. After all, cartoons are made by adults who have a love and respect for the medium, and need to know quite a bit about the art form in order to be successful at it. That being said, let's just get one thing straight. Cartoons are for kids. Okay, you and I both know that ain't true. There's plenty of animation out there that is made for adults. However, a majority of cartoons air on kids' networks. So, in that case, cartoons are made for kids. But, you and I also know that even though cartoons are made for kids, they are made with adult viewers in mind. So, creators and writers add in adult elements to keep parents and any adults who enjoy good entertainment to have a pleasant time. But, there seems to be a group of animation fans on the net who feel the need to constantly criticize any cartoon they hate. It's as if they live, breathe, and die by that mentality. Well, let me tell you, that ain't healthy. Believe me, I know. While Ben T. Looney was a persona I created to let loose and have fun, I did share a lot of mentalities of my character. Yes, I did have a grudge against the Looney Tunes show. Yes, I felt the need to hate everything Seth MacFarlane's name was on. And yes, there was a time I flat out refused to get into anime. I was that passionate about the industry, and while I had what I liked, I felt that what I hated consumed me. Like I spent more time obsessing over hating things I wasn't a fan of than actually enjoying myself. And for what? What did I accomplish? Sure, we got some funny videos out of it that you folks enjoyed. But, even in my personal life, I felt the need to argue with people who disagree with me. No, not debate, argue. And unfortunately, some of that still spills out in combos I have with my friends these days. That's something I can't help due to the passion I have for arts and entertainment. But, I like to think I've improved since then. That being said, I browse through Twitter, Tumblr, and even YouTube, and I see a lot of people, like I used to be, animation critics, who think that the industry is in the toilet, and the Emoji Movie is the worst thing that ever happened in the world. You could say that they're just joking. It's the internet after all. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. But all the hate and negativity goes beyond just playful joking. Seeing all this makes me feel like I'm looking in a mirror of my past self, with my animated persona staring back at me with that angry face. A lot of these are young kids, like I used to be, who are just passionate about the medium and don't have a lot of worries on their mind. But there are also people my age, even some older than me, who can be pretty harsh as well. The mysterious Mr. Enter is a cartoon critic who gets a bad rap for being so condescending and acting like he knows the ins and outs of what makes great animation. While I'm not a fan of his, I can say that the hate on him can be just as bad as the hate he gives the cartoons he reviews. If you ask me, nothing is more annoying than people who complain about cartoons. But if I may give my opinion on Enter, I'll admit that he has the knack of nitpicking every little thing about cartoons. How much time can one man have on his hands? Also, we get it, John. You hate Family Guy and Teen Titans Go. How can one man make the same video explain the same things over and over again? Would it kill you to watch something else for once in your life? When's the last time you made an admirable animation video? For Pete's sakes, man. That being said, I don't hate him as a person. He seems like a nice guy, but his videos don't affect me none. I've talked about the hate towards Teen Titans Go in a past video, so I won't go over that again. However, I will go into detail about another recent reboot that people can't seem to stop hating on, Powerpuff Girls 2016. I'll admit, this was one that got my gears all screwed up when it came out. I was so bitter about it that even I got mad at my own best friend when he tried to get me to see it in a more positive light. Well, I've since given the show another look and it's harmless. I'll admit, I still don't understand why they didn't bring back the original voice actors for the girls while bringing back the rest of the cast. But should we act like it's the worst thing ever? After all, it's just a cartoon. It might have been better to see a new and original cartoon instead, but hey, like I said at the beginning of the video, cartoons are for kids. You can analyze it and hate it all you want, but don't you think you can be doing something else with your time? Review it for a one and done thing, cool, but don't review every episode and act like the show is raping your childhood. The show has its funny moments, so try to be a little more open-minded. Another example of something animated that's gotten boatloads of hate is the Emoji Movie. So, let me get this straight. You guys were dead set on hating a movie before it even came out, yet you went to go see it anyway just so you could verify your hate for it? What? Well, congratulations, you made the Emoji Movie a box office success. It wasn't a blockbuster, but it still didn't lose any money. Hope you're happy. And people were hating on this movie especially because Genndy Tartakovsky's Popeye movie got canceled for it. But here's the thing. If that didn't happen, Genndy wouldn't have had the chance to go back to Cartoon Network and make Samurai Jack Season 5. Get a 90-minute love letter to a classic cartoon that would probably only be good for a weekend's worth of enjoyment, or get closer on one of your favorite cartoons from your childhood. Such a tough choice, I know. That's right. The Emoji Movie was a blessing in disguise. We got a badass final season of Samurai Jack, and all it cost us was an animated movie that we as adults can easily ignore, cause it's not made for us. I don't even care too much for Samurai Jack, but I love Season 5 so much that not getting a Popeye movie isn't going to cause me to lose sleep over it. So, the problem with the animation community is there's a certain group that feels the need to try to get rid of anything they don't like. Possibly believing in some kind of quality control that'll prevent stuff like Powerpuff Girls 2016 or the Emoji Movie from being made. Well, that's a little thing called censorship, and we all know how I feel about that. Freedom of art and expression means that anybody can create what they want, even if it's soulless, as a lot of people call it. We just need to start acknowledging that there's going to be art out there that we don't like. It's impossible to like everything, and there's never going to be one thing that pleases everybody. This is coming from somebody who doesn't care for Star Wars. Also, look at it this way. If everything was a masterpiece, nothing would stick out. I fell in love with shows like Gravity Falls, Wander Over Yonder, The Amazing World Gumball, and The Legend of Korra because there were cartoons out there I didn't like very much. But these shows came around, and they had everything I loved about cartoons, so I gravitated towards them. I can tell you folks right now, kids these days are lucky to have the cartoons they have now. I'm not going to say cartoons are in much better shape now than they were when I was growing up. Every decade has some good cartoons and some bad ones. This is nothing new. But I will say that kids these days have an advantage to get great quality cartoons much better now than we did. With so many distractions in the world around us now, with the ability to have our internet in the palm of our hands, creators need to find ways to keep kids glued to their TVs. So, cartoons are starting to be more creative and think outside the box, dealing with themes that writers didn't have a chance to deal with before. Shows like The Loud House and Steven Universe are speaking above kids' levels, and making them learn about subjects that'll make them curious and more tolerant of new ideas. I'm optimistic about our future. Now, a special message to cartoon fans out there who do take cartoons a little too seriously. You're not bad people. At least, I don't think you are. I'm tolerant of cloppers and people who make Loud House incest fan art, so not much offends me. But may I suggest taking it down a bit? It's perfectly okay to be critical of things. It's human nature to debate. But look on the bright side some more. Your childhood is over, but that don't mean you still can't enjoy yourself. Look for other stuff out there to enjoy. I've gotten into reading, sports, and looking at artwork since my ranting days. I've got plenty of distractions in my life to keep me entertained. I suggest you guys do the same. Expand your horizons a bit. Life's too short to be just sitting on a couch in your mom's basement complaining about cartoons. Or, better yet, use your frustrations in a creative way. Make your own stuff, whether it be artwork, animations, or stories. Create the content you want to see personally. Don't spout out all this crap that your childhood is dead just because a bad reboot of a cartoon you love came out. Chances are, if that's the case, there's not much of your childhood left to ruin. There's great stuff out there. You just gotta know where to look. As Willy Wonka once said, if you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Now, in case any of you are worried that my mentality on this issue means I'm growing out of cartoons, that couldn't be farther from the truth. I love cartoons. I'll never stop loving them. I've just gotten older, adult responsibilities have caught up with me, and I just don't have as much time to watch stuff as I used to. I also have gotten more into making artwork and videos, as well as other interests, so time to watch cartoons has just shrunken for me. That being said, there's still a lot of great cartoons coming out that I'm interested in, and I'm more than looking forward to a lot of animated movies coming out in theaters. I'm more than optimistic about the future of the art form. Sure, there are some bumps in the road along the way, but that don't mean the medium is dying anytime soon. I made this video not to call out extreme cartoon fans, or make them look foolish. If anything, that only makes the problem worse. It only stirs the pot and creates drama. I make this video because I'm encouraging people who might be a little frustrated about the animation industry to be a little more optimistic, and to use any frustrations they might have to be a little more creative. Or, if you're not the creative type, go treasure hunting for some underrated entertainment that nobody else knows about. A lot of underrated movies, TV shows, cartoons, and music go on to become cult classics. Be the person to discover the next big hidden gem. It's not the end of the world, folks. Cartoons are great, people are great, and above all else, life is great. What do you guys feel about extreme cartoon fans? Any forms of art frustrate you? Let it out in the comments below. I'll be your therapist. As always, stay loony, my friends.